Hello and welcome. I'm Psychotherapy Cynthia, and I'll be your guide for this walk through the 2024 ACA Code of Ethics, a resource you'll use every day as a graduate student counselor and a mental health counseling practitioner. Whether you're in practicum, internship, or just starting coursework, I want you to see why this code is much more than a rulebook. Instead, it's a compass for your daily client work, your supervision, and your classroom participation. We are going to cover key concepts, try out practical scenarios, and build your confidence to navigate ethical dilemmas safely, always with support. You can pause at any time for reflection or note-taking. Let's begin together on the path toward ethical, growth-focused practice. Pause and reflect. What do you hope to gain from this ethics overview in your training right now? Section 1. Ethical Foundations and Core Principles. The heart of the ACA Code is its core values, principles that shape every decision in counseling. Let's break them down. Autonomy. This means supporting your client's right to make their own choices, even if you worry about their decisions. Non-maleficence. This is the classic do no harm. If you feel uncertain or undertrained, pause and get supervision. Beneficence. This means always striving to help, not just to avoid harm. Justice. This is about treating all clients fairly and checking yourself for bias. Fidelity. This is keeping your word and honoring trust from first contact to final session. As a student or clinician, you will balance these values with your commitment to learning and growth. An ethical code like the ACA's guides professionals, but as students, your learning curve and need for supervision are expected and respected. Pause and reflect. Which of these ethical principles feels most natural to you, and which seems most challenging? Why? Section 2. General responsibility to clients. As a student clinician, your number one job is to ensure client welfare under guidance. The 2024 ACA Code, Standard 8.1a, says, counselors practice only within the boundaries of their competence, based on education, training, supervised experience, consultation, study, or professional experience. What does this mean practically? Suppose you're in session and a client hints at suicidal thinking or shares about abuse. Don't go it alone. Call on supervision right away. Your competence is growing, and it's normal and right to ask for help or a pause. You must also explain your student role to every client. This is called informed consent. Let them know you're under regular supervision and that you'll discuss their case confidentially with your supervisor. Record keeping, even basic session notes, is part of your responsibility. Protect privacy. Use secure platforms, and ask if you ever feel unclear about a process. Cultural humility is part of competence, too. Being open about your learning process and willing to admit when you don't know is a sign of ethical strength. Pause and reflect. If a client expresses risk of harm, as a student under supervision, what steps should you take first? Section 3. Counseling environment, relationships, and professional boundaries. Boundaries matter greatly in the work of a student counselor. The code includes clear guidance for dual relationships, boundaries, and confidentiality across university clinics, community agencies, and online supervision. Consider this. If a client also shares a class with you, should you keep them as a client? Your next step: consult immediately with your supervisor, document the dilemma, and review your guidelines. Don't try to figure it out alone. Professional boundaries aren't about distance. They're about clarity and safety for you and for your client. Avoid conflicts of interest, don't accept significant gifts, and share personal info only when truly therapeutic and always after checking with your supervisor. Pause and reflect. Have you ever experienced a boundary gray zone? What did you do, or what would you do differently now? Section 4. Ethical Decision-Making Frameworks. When you face an ethical dilemma, don't guess. Use a step-by-step process. Here is an ACA-aligned, student-friendly model. Step 1. Identify the problem or dilemma. Step 2. Check the ACA code and any relevant program policies. Step 3. Consult your supervisor or another expert. Step 4. Generate possible courses of action. Step 5. Consider the possible impact on everyone involved. Step 6. Choose the best action, act, and document your reasoning and the result. Documentation isn't just bureaucracy. It demonstrates your ethical reasoning and learning process. Pause and reflect. When have you needed to seek a second opinion or documented an ethical decision during practicum? Section 5. Special topics and student scenarios. Let's practice seeing ethics in action for tricky real-life scenarios. Tarasoff-like duties. If under supervision, you learn a client may harm someone, review safety protocols and consult immediately. Telehealth. If you conduct sessions virtually, make privacy and supervision boundaries clear up front. Role plays in class. Don't overshare or act out personal trauma without guidance. Keep boundaries with classmates. Working with minors or vulnerable adults. Always clarify consent, discuss the role of guardians, and know your reporting duties for abuse or neglect. Recognize ethical risks in dual relationships, in the clinic, campus, and community. Social media and student identity. Don't accept client friend requests or post clinical stories, even anonymously. Suppose you believe a peer is showing signs of burnout. The code asks you to raise concerns in supervision or with faculty because counselor well-being is an ethical priority for both peers and clients. Pause and reflect. Imagine learning a peer is violating an ethical guideline. What's your first step? Section 6. Ethical violations, reporting, and accountability. None of us gets it all right the first time. Common student violations include incomplete record keeping, dual relationships, or acting outside your competence. The code urges prompt consultation, honest reporting, and corrective action, not shame or secrecy. Know your program's process for reporting mistakes or concerns. Remember, supervisors are there to help you learn, not to punish you. If you're struggling, stress, burnout, worry, self-care isn't just good practice, it's an ethical mandate. Reach out early. Pause and reflect. What barriers keep students from reporting ethical issues? How could you help promote a culture of support and growth? Section 7. Practical tools for graduate students. Let's make ethics practical. Use checklists. For informed consent, you might say, as a student counselor, I work under supervision. Your information may be discussed with respect with my supervisor for your care. For confidentiality, there are certain circumstances like danger to yourself or others where I may need to share information. I'll always explain this if it comes up. Keep an ethical decision log. Document the date, scenario, who you consulted, and the steps you took after each dilemma. Use self-assessment rubrics to reflect on your growth and to set supervision topics. Pause and reflect. When would a script or checklist have helped you in recent practice? Add one idea to try in your next supervision. Conclusion and key takeaways. Congrats on investing in your ethical development. Remember, the ACA Code 2024 is your guide. Consult it regularly. When in doubt, ask for supervision. Ethics is a journey, learned in practice, reflection, and ongoing education. For more guidance, check your training program handbook and ACA's official resources. I'm Psychotherapy Cynthia. Thank you for your courage, curiosity, and dedication to ethical practice. Every choice you make, every time you seek supervision, you are becoming a stronger, safer, and more effective counselor. Pause and reflect. What is one ethical commitment or action you want to focus on developing in your next few months? Reference: American Counseling Association 2024 ACA Code of Ethics, ACA Ethics Resources. Now that you have completed this training video, test your knowledge with these 20 multiple-choice questions, crafted to help you review and apply the principles of the ACA Code of Ethics 2024 edition. The questions reflect real-world scenarios and standards you'll encounter as a graduate student counselor. Think about each one thoughtfully and use this as a learning opportunity. After each question, I'll give you the correct answer, along with a brief rationale to deepen your understanding. Feel free to pause, reflect, or discuss with peers as you go. Let's get started. Question 1. According to the ACA Code of Ethics 2024, what is the primary responsibility of a student counselor working under supervision? A. Focusing mainly on personal growth. B. ensuring client welfare while practicing within their competence. C. Only implementing supervisors' decisions. D. Promoting the counseling program's reputation. Answer B. Ensuring client welfare and practicing only within their level of competence is the central ethical responsibility. Question 2. Which core principle relates to respecting and empowering a client's right to make decisions? A. Fidelity. B. Justice. C. Autonomy. D. Beneficence. Answer C. Autonomy means honoring each client's self-determination and choice. Question 3. If a student counselor feels unprepared for a client's presenting issue, what is the recommended ethical action? A. Attempt intervention alone. B. Ignore the concern. C. Seek supervision immediately. D. Refer without documenting. Answer C. It is essential to consult a supervisor when competence may be lacking. Question 4. Which statement about informed consent is most accurate? A. It is optional in student counseling. B. It should be explained in every session. C. It clarifies the student counselor's role and any supervision. D. It only applies to legal adults. Answer C. Informed consent always includes disclosure of supervision and counselor role. Question 5. The principle, do no harm, best matches which ethical standard? A. Justice. B. Beneficence. C. Fidelity. Answer D. Non-maleficence means avoiding actions that risk causing harm. Question 6. What should a student counselor do when encountering a dual relationship in a practicum site? A. Avoid reporting and work through it alone. B. Immediately consult the supervisor and document. C. Ignore the issue if consent is given. D. Only act if conflicts arise. Answer B. Prompt consultation and documentation are required in cases of dual relationships. Question 7. When working with vulnerable clients, e.g. minors, which ethical duty applies? A. Rapid exceptions. B. Securing privacy. C. Promoting client welfare. D. Ensuring client welfare while practicing within their competence. Answer B. Prompt consultation and documentation are required in cases of dual relationships. Answer C. It's essential to consult a supervisor when competence may be lacking. D. Only act if conflicts arise. Answer C. Prompt consultation and documentation are required in cases of dual relationships. Answer C. Prompt consultation and documentation are required in cases of dual relationships. Answer A. Assume the proper posture. B. Specify the boundaries based on that. C. Ensuring client welfare while practicing within their competence. Answer B. Prompt maintain strict confidentiality regardless of situation. B. Ignore mandated reporting requirements. C. Discuss limits of confidentiality and follow legal mandates. D. Delay reporting for client comfort. Answer C. Student counselors must clearly outline confidentiality limits and comply with laws. Question